Morning all. Thought I'd have another 15-minute game. That was a bit of a tense battle yesterday with that draw. Sorry, not a draw. I managed to win on time, but I messed up a win with Rook A1 check after Rook H5 yesterday. And okay, my thoughts on that overnight was that there was a gut feeling it was winning because my king was so advanced. And you know, possibly if you are in a position where your gut feeling is telling you you're winning, that is the time to really slow down to a halt and just try and see if there's concrete, you know, evidence for that gut feeling. Maybe that's something to think about anyway. Because otherwise it might pass, that position might pass, and as it did, and then like the king and rook weren't as effectively placed. I wonder if I'm going to get a game at this time in the morning. Actually, it's like 10 to 7, a bit early. We could just, as we're sort of doing a quick post-mortem on that game. So basically, the opponent seemed to play very, very solidly. Come on, forward 50 or something. Forward 50 again, just to get the moves in the buffer. Forward 50 again. I'll get to a critical point here where, of course, the gut feeling was that I had a crushing position earlier, especially not before he played this Rook H5. Here, it just seemed to be winning. I was threatening like almost, you know, he's got King G2, but there's F3. So F3 is discouraged straight away because of Rook E5, and then King maybe moves. Okay, we've got a game. Okay, so a 1787. Okay, I'm playing an English opening. Clamp down on D4. His rhythm's good, so I'm hoping he's not an engine abuser. The rhythm's, you know, not too bad. In fact, here E4 takes, E takes. No. Now E4 takes He takes the rook. No. Not yet. But E4 might be a threat here. Takes. Okay. E4 here. This could be a quick 15-minute game. Bishop takes G7. E takes, and now if it takes, there's check. So E4 looks promising. Bishop takes G7. I get a piece back. He takes a rook. I take another bishop. It looks as though it's winning a piece, E4. We've had this situation before in some Ivanchuk games and other games where this is actually vulnerable. It's more vulnerable than this. So E4, Bishop G7 takes, and if there, then I win another piece. Is there anything wrong with it? D takes Bishop B2, Bishop takes G7, E takes F3, Bishop takes F8. He's a rook up. I take another piece. I'm the exchange down. Now if he takes here, I get 3 pieces. I'm going to do it. I can't see anything wrong with it. I think this is just taking a bit of liberty. This is a loose piece compared to this one because the king's actually protecting it. We've seen this tactic in some master games, so it could be my shortest 15-minute game. ToastMaster might be toast here, I'm afraid. Let's have a look at his finger notes. He's been up to 1946 at some point, but he hasn't played that many, 17 of these games. His bullet rating is 1284. He's been up to 1395 on 1 minute, sorry. On 15 minute he's been up to 1810. No, this is about his rough rating. On 5 minute he's 1946. On 3 minute he's 1596. But this does seem to be a clear piece blunder, I'm afraid. But there is something about this that it seems as though they're equal of value, these bishops on the diagonals, when they're pointing at each other, but it's not. This bishop's actually protected by the king. That's the basis for some dangerous wins. Even in Grandmaster games, we've seen some wins where Ivanchuk's exploited that fact, or other players. You know, Tau, I think. We had a Tau game where this was an issue. Just going to finish this, but I'm back in a minute. Okay, game on. So knight c2. What about queen h6 here? There's h5. g5. Rook h1. G takes rook h4 is not that pleasant. Any other ways of cracking the nut here? h5 straight away. f5. There's f4. Well, we've got a game carrying on here for a bit. I could just play queen g7, trying to lock down on d4 and knight f5 to d4. Play e4 or e3. Maybe queen g7's better, or queen h4 first, provoke a weakness, then queen g7. So h4 is a bit of a weakness, meaning that knight f5, g4 later as knight h4, for example. So queen g7 after h4 locks down on d4. Then I'll be able to play knight f5. And if e4, knight d4, juicy knight on d4. Oh. Okay, maybe it's early for my opponent, but bishop h3 seems to win more material in exchange. So basically I'll be well, significant material up now. More material. I'm threatening mate after queen h2, threatening queen h1 mate. Okay, game on. I can get the queens off. Just the knight up here. Knight f5 takes on c5 takes. Is there a big deal there? I can't see it. The knight on f5 protects d6. Say queen d5. I could just exchange off queens and be boring here. I think I'm going to do that. If the queens come off, there's probably less sources of counterplay. I just take on d4, or just maybe just knight f5. Well, I'll take on d4 for knight f5, I think. I still think ToastMaster's toast here. He's just a piece down for not much. There's rook e8 check now. Okay, let's not be too casual about it though. So knight e5, he could pin the knight. I could unpin with king f8. Okay, so knight g4 looks, e3 looks good. Also there's knight g3. So king g2, knight e3. Rook e1, knight g3. Looks as though e3 and g3 are also now another source of pain. He's resigned here. It was a bit of a quick 15-minute game, I'm afraid. Wasn't too much meat on the bone there. But there is maybe an element here that these bishops need to be wary. This bishop is about to be protected by the king by default, perk of castling. So e4 looked good. I don't know if there's an amazing resource here for white under engine inspection. I would hope not. Okay, comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.